Hello YouTube, Damo_23 here and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. In today's episode, we do not have Norwich in the Super Cup final, but I do want to speak about Norwich because I never expected to ever see Norwich in the Super Cup final ever on FM. But the main reason we're here is we are going to, at some point, leave AC Milan in today's episode, and it just depends on one or two clubs. It's either going to be Wolfsburg or it is going to be Newcastle. I'm going to speak about the team that is coming for an interview for me as of right now. I want to speak about this AC Milan squad because they're going to hold a place dear in the heart of the save. And more importantly, if I bring it up on my second screen there, we can tick off the fact that we have the green little tick here as well for everything that you've done. I may as well tick that. Just make that green. Look, that is the one. The one in bold is the one that we are very thankful for. But as you can see here on the metric, we have won the UCL, which leaves us the UEFA Europa League, the World Cup, the Euros, and then all the other leagues and domestic cups outside of Italy, which means we're in a very, very good spot. With that all being said and done, I'm going to speak about Norwich, because why not? Give the episode a like and subscribe, by the way. Norwich, by the way, overall balance of 52 mil. Best player is Isaiah Jones. Yeah, Isaiah Jones is their best player. They won the Europa League last year. You're saying, hang on, what? How did they make the Europa League? They finished 14th in the league the year before and won the FA Cup. So it all starts with an FA Cup run for Norwich. I'm just gonna just highlight the FA Cup run. Grimsby, Birmingham, they knocked off Chelsea in a shootout, beat my boys West Ham, who we managed in the first year to say, beat Fulham and then beat Aston Villa in one of the more easier runs to a final that's ever been seen. In the defence, they lost in the quarterfinal to Liverpool, standard. And then in the because they finished 14th but won the FA Cup, they went into the Europa League, where they got through the league phase. They beat Slavia Prague just, knocked out Dortmund, knocked out Sporting, beat Sevilla. So, fair dues. They don't need a manager. They would be in the Champions League next year, so I wouldn't take a charge of them. So there you are. Anyway, I want to speak about this squad here, just quickly as well, before we get into the crux of the episode, which is an interview process with one of the teams that I want to break down. What a team. What a worldie of a team. Can we just say, Manigan's one of the best keepers I've used. By the way, the reason we're not doing a European Invitational Finals because I got slapped up by Spain in the semi. We did slap up the Netherlands to finish third at least. Kalu's out of this world. Todibo is fantastic. Tamori is out of this world as well. Theo Hernandez, whoever he is as well, was fantastic. Ismail Benacour is a backup player, is worth 100 mil and he's still fantastic, right? Tonali's Tonali. He's upset. Maybe, just maybe, if we had the money. David Fatezi, man. We signed him for 54 mil and he's come in and been an absolute stalwart in there. He's out of this world, outrageous. But realistically, I said we needed a 10 to win the Champions League. There's your 10. Bruno Fernandes at 32. I'm happy we brought him in. It was the perfect signing at the perfect time. What a footballer, what a player. But these front two are outrageous. Now, Victor Roque last year, don't get me wrong, was okay. But this year, he was insane. Insane. He's world class. He's one of the best strikers in the world. And he's partnered by Rafael Leo, who last year was one of the best strikers in the world. This year, bit hit and miss. But had a really good year. And you're never going to get a team that fits the 10 so well. Players I also want to speak about, John Stones. You've got to remember, he came in to be a backup, average of 7.11 in 32 games across the league. 30 matches, 17 off the bench, averaged over a 7. Superb. I want to speak about the glides of, Dani Olmo we brought in last year to replace Charles. Was dead set solid, which is nice. But I want to speak about a few of the youngsters. Adre Gula has developed into an absolute monster of a footballer. If I end up at one of my next two clubs, this is one of the guys I'm going to target big time and go, you come to me. You come with me. I didn't get used as the main man in my last team because here at Milan he doesn't get in. But in my next side, I want you. That's kind of the role I want him in. I want Adre Gula to be in there. Tisney's another. If I have the money, if I have 28 to 40 million, this guy's about to become one of the best midfielders in world football. The guy's starting for me in my French national side. The guy is free-star yet again, would get into most teams up, in the midfield. I would love to get the wonder kid in and play week in, week out, if I could. Iwato's only got 12 months left on his deal. The main reason I've done that is I think he's still a wonder kid. I think if I end up at the job where I'm about to speak about, if I get this one, he's perfect. Box-to-box midfielder, get in the 4-3-3. Or if we play diamond, he still plays that role, which is fine. Mose Keane yet again, what can be said? 7.4. We got him in at Hippers late doors, 10 and 15. He then had a very poor year when we weren't there. And then we did what we needed to do. Sorry, my phone's on loud because I'm expecting a call from my sister at some point. But he came in and did exactly very, very well. The other guy I want to speak about is Luciano, who's just been cut by Italy. Now, Luciano Amico, yet again, is another guy that if he was playing at one of the other clubs in Italy outside of Inter and probably Juve, he starts. We haven't barely used him. 29 to 34 mil. If I've got the money, I think he's a great backup striker, if not someone that could start for me. Last one in that list as well I want to speak about is Kevin Kukui. I've loaned him out. He's only worth 8 to 10 mil. He's gone and scored goals in the at Rangers. You've got to remember, this kid is only 20 years of age with 19 determination, 16 off the ball with 17 finishing and 16 technique, and is going to have decent pace. I honestly think if you give this guy game time up front from one of the bigger clubs, he is going to develop into a monster. So there you are as well. But what a team, what a list. We might even look at Ivan Roldan down the track. He's only 17 years of age with those mentals. There we are. But let's talk about the team that we have coming for me. And it is VfL Wolfsburg. Now, they were unsuccessful because of my compensation. The board never stands your way with that. So we talked to them. Big thing is that they've got all their money in now for the next season because they have now had the league drawn out for the new everything else. It looks like that they've unfortunately just, they go into this, have just accepted this move for Joel Muvak, which I don't like. It's a loan. I don't know why they would be loaning him. Why are they going in for loan? Oh, this makes no sense. I don't like this now. Because he's a leading player. He's very good. He's one of the guys that I'll be like, okay, you need to play. If he's going on loan, which means that I'm making no money, it better be loan to buy in that second season we get that money in the club. Now, in saying that though, in terms of transfer history for this season, I haven't really made a decision on anything just yet, which is fine. But we have a look at the Bundesliga, they've already drawn it out. They predicted to finish 5th, and that Muvak guy is there. They reckon Jose Marsha is their best player, and look, I play with an aggressive left back, so I'm happy with that. But very much suited a 4-3-2-1. Velasco, people will know who he is, the 24-year-old. People also will know who, if I go back into there, we'll also know who Fabio Cavallo is from Liverpool, who they've just picked up on big money. We didn't have the best of year. I just think they've got that sort of squad, which is interesting on Football Manager. You go, oh, those are guys that I haven't really used. I would love to use you, and then build something from that. Average age of 24 makes me think they've got younger players, they've got world-class facilities. And because we completed Italy in 2 years and we're out, it means that I could technically add on an extra 2 years to the German project. We could spend 6 years here and not be behind in the save. Yes, it does mean that I still need to win the FA Cup in England, and I've got 3 years to do that in, or 2 years to do that in. Should be able to, you would say. And I've got 3 years in Spain. So I could average it out to saying, well, we'll get 1 extra year in Germany, 1 extra year in Spain, and leave 2 in England, more than likely. But it's a job where I like the team. I like the players that are around. Joe Scully's an outrageously good right back on FM this year. He's got decent pace. He's not someone that I would straight away go, oh, we need to upgrade on. Remember that first year we're going to have no European competitions. It's going to be DFB Pokal and Bundesliga. And more than likely, as I'm about to speak with the board, I'm hoping that they're expecting a Europa League finish, because I will just target it so that we can target winning the Europa League in Season 2. If you look at the rest of the squad here as well, Maximilian Arnold's a very solid, experienced footballer. He's not too bad. Tete's joining somewhere else. I wish we knew how much Joel was going for on loan. He's transfer listed, wouldn't do that. They got Solomon out there, the 27-year-old, who's not too bad as well. They got other people here on this list that people know. Benjamin Enriques knows how to play in every position as a backup player, but he's under free. And then they've got a heap of kids, which makes no sense in the team, but I'm hoping some of them have potential. Their best prospect is this kid, who is actually a winger on either side as well, and he can play complete wing back if needed. He's got a little bit about him at 16. Last thing why I don't mind Wolfsburg is the money situation is good. You go to there, you go to profile, they've got 112 mil. I would imagine they're going to give you 30 to 40 mil. I like at Hippers where you scrimp around with no budget. I think you're going to get a budget there, and there is some sellable assets. So with that being said, that's the one team I've broken down. The other team here, you guys know that I want the Newcastle job, because I think that it would be one and done in Newcastle. Maybe not one and done, but whatever it is. I'm no longer the favourite for that one, unfortunately, though. If we go by that, Stefan Polli, who's in charge of Italy, is now the favourite for that one, which is odd. And Eduardo's in charge, a favourite there from Benfica. So we're not favourites for any of the job, but that doesn't mean anything. Without further ado, I'm going to be back from doing that interview. AC Milan want me to stay, by the way. Could end up staying. Thing is, if I stay this season, I would be resigning at the end of the year, no matter what. Unless the job comes available that we go for. But yeah, look. Let's see if we get one of these jobs. We'll be back to break down either Newcastle or the fact that Wolfsburg are giving us a job. Well, this is an interesting time, YouTube. Newcastle come in for me to give me a job interview while Wolfsburg approach me. So Wolfsburg have officially said, here's your contract. You've got 90 mil transfer budget plus 2 mil in the wage. They want me to qualify for the Champions League at the end of the season. Fair. And they want me to become the best of the rest and reach the later stage of the DFB Pokal. Obviously, my goal would actually finish in the Europa League, but I would hope then the board would keep me in the job, and I don't want to particularly risk that. It's a weird situation there. I want to be in the Europa League, which sounds weird. The Newcastle job would be silly. Just let's go there, see what happens, and then try and win the FA Cup straight away, and then see what they want me to do. By the way, there might be a world where Newcastle go, look, just finish in the Europa League, you finished 10th last year, see what you can do. We're definitely going to attend this interview. If I delay it, can I delay that for a week? Okay, we're going to delay that for a week. They agreed to delay. Let's do the interview. Here we go. Right. Showing loyalty, casual making things. It's my choice to stand by my decisions. Splitting my options. I'm happy to work with the footballing director. I don't need no budget change. Qualify for the Europa League. Beautiful. Newcastle just want me to qualify for the Europa League. I'm on for that, mate. Because I'm telling you right now, if we start doing well in the league and it looks like finishing top 4, I'm finishing 6th to bloody make sure I'm in the Europa League. If given the job and greatness to pass as expectations, no, I agree to that. 105 mil, which is similar to Wolfsburg is. Wolfsburg actually give me pretty similar wage too. None that I can think of. Okay. So why the Newcastle job and why delay? Very simply put, this team's virtually in a position where I think it finishes top 4. Now, in saying that though, would I want to finish at top 4? No. Why have they listed Civet up? No, my God, this is silly. Now, Newcastle's still in debt. That's the next question. Because they were in debt last time I looked. The board just gave them 120 mil and 224 mil income. It's Newcastle. They give you money for fun. If you look at the Premier League in the season preview, they are predicted to finish 6th, perfect, behind Arsenal, United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and City, who are outrageous. Yeremy Pino is the only one that gets in that starting 11. If you look at the Newcastle team, this guy called Mamarol, who is on loan and meaning to come back, is apparently expected to start in this side alongside Morgola, Lacroix, Frimpong, Civet, Bruno, Bellingham, Isaac, Victor Osimhen, and Yeremy Pino. Look, if that's the team that I walked up with on opening day without making a sale, I'm happy. Now, they've got a guy called Greg Smith. He's not that great. He does have some potential, though. This would be, if I pick this role, it's, I got 2 years in England, and season 1, I want one and done. FA Cup, see you later. Get into the Europa League, win the Europa League next year. That is my 2-year project. Finish 6th, win the Europa League, win the FA Cup, and see you later. I'm leaving England for the entirety of the save. Interesting spot. Look, I think the rest of the team looks pretty good. I would use Gareth Cole just because I've got Gareth Cole. Sailmakers, look, I don't know why he wasn't used in any of the games that I saw last year, but he did play a fair bit. He's another great player. Like, for me, he is my straight away, you're starting at right wing back, mate. You're bombing on and being everything that you need to be. Right? This squad is just peak. I will say there is other little areas where I would make some changes here with this squad. You know, I would love to sign another centre midfielder, Roman Tisney, and Sane be the backup left winger, for instance. I want to be able to be in a position where, as much as Leonardo Morgala is sensationally quick, he's actually a very good ball-playing defender and a very good left back and right back. I would love to be in a position where this guy is my backup. And we can definitely do that. So, yeah, look, I just think that this squad is just so good. Look at the names in there. Look at what they did. They made a Champions League final last year. I actually think it's going to be hard for me to finish 6th because I think this team will just overperform. We're going to play a 4-3 as what they played last year. I don't need. There's no reason for me to play narrow with Jeremy Pino and Sane and Isaac and all of the above around. Like, this guy is just crazily insane as an inside forward. So, yeah. Look, if I had the choice, it's the Newcastle job. If I had the choice, the Wolfsburg job is more fun because it's more rebuild. The Newcastle job is, no, that team's ready to be taken over and win what you need to win now, which is the whole idea of Glory Hunter. Let me know where you would go. It's a choice of 2. Comment down below. I'm leaning Newcastle just because I know that if we go there, we can complete England, and then Italy and England is both complete. We can focus solely on Spain, Germany, and France, where you need a topple Bayern, you need a topple PSG, you need a topple Barcelona and Real Madrid. So unless you get one of those 3 jobs, you're finding it very difficult to win the domestic double. And that's probably where we need more years. But yeah, look, we're leaving AC Milan at the end of this episode no matter what. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Newcastle now come in for me as well. Can I just say we do have an offer from Spurs for Marco Ciala. I'm going to reject that one. We have offers for Iwoto. I'm rejecting both because my plan is to actually sign him at Newcastle if I end up going there. Now it's decision time. So they want me to qualify for the Europa League challenge for the FA Cup and be competitive in the Carabao Cup, develop the best youth system in the country, and then challenge for the Premier League title and win it in the next few years. I plan to be long gone by then. I plan to finish 6th and win the FA Cup and then try and win the Europa League next year. Sign players for under 23s for the first team. I've got 106 mil. I think that this is the job. I think Wolfsburg would be... Oh, man. I'm thinking long term. Is that... I don't know what to do. I think if we think long term in the same, in 6 years, I reckon I would have won the DFB Pokal and the... I would have won the DFB Pokal and the Bundesliga. I know it's a big shout, but in 6 seasons, I think I could do it. Especially with Wolfsburg's money and resources and facilities. However, to manage a team that is this freaking good, with Jude Bellingham and Jeremy Pino and Isaac and Victor Osimhen, I don't think we can pass this up. Oh man, I'm actually really torn. I'm really torn. I'm actually leaning Wolfsburg. I'm not gonna lie. I just think that's. It makes sense to go here for the save side of things because you can come back and clean up England. You just need to win the FA Cup. That is it. I've won the domestic there. I just need to win the FA Cup. But only reason why I'm thinking maybe I'll go to Wolfsburg in Newcastle is I can manufacture a 6th place finish. I can manufacture it. In the bigger games, I'll just go ultra aggressive against against Man City. Make sure we lose both, right? Against Liverpool at Anfield, I just make sure we go ultra aggressive and we lose that one. And then we make sure we win all our games at home and off we go. But look at this team. It's a good team. Now, if you look at Wolfsburg's team, Arts is an outrageously good keeper. Wisdom Ami is a very good centre-back. Matthias Ginter is getting old, yes. Pascal Struck's also getting older, but he's still very good. Joe Scully's alright. Savenberg is okay. Arnold's not bad. Fabio Cavallo's okay. They've got Andre Silva and Jonas Wind up top, which, look, I would do better than that. And they're getting money in for Jonas Wind anyway. I think there's a big rebuild going on here. Unless one of these kids are, like, world-class, then I think I have to take Newcastle just because it's just easy to complete England. And then I think my other thing would also be that surely... he's actually pretty good. What are we in? We're in season 5, right? I'm in season 5. I think I'm in season 5. That's my recordings. Glory Hunter. We've just ended season 5. Easy said it's season 6. Season 6, 8. If I get to season 8 and I've won the FA Cup and the Europa League, it just leaves the domestics to the other 3 and it puts me in a really strong spot. Or if I go to Newcastle and I fail a couple of times, then I'm behind the 8 ball. But there is a world where Bayern Munich have one bad year and we get the Bayern job because our reputation is so good. Like, our reputation is one of the best in the world. What would you have done? What would you have done? This Newcastle squad's too strong, too good. I look at this Newcastle squad, I'm like, mate, if I just buy some bench players that can change a game and can play in these lesser games, I kind of have to take this job, don't I? We're gonna take the Newcastle job. Qualify for the Europa League, that's fine, done. And I'm happy with a 3-year deal. We're taking the Newcastle job. Oh, that Wolfsburg job is so tempting. You guys might be thinking, Dad, it's a weird place to go in a glory hunter, but I'm like, it's 130 mil, it's 89 mil worth of spending, and the only expectation is there. Oh, look, we've done what we needed to do. Zidane will end up going to AC Milan. State of the art, superb, love it. They reckon we're going to play Diamond with Stephenson in the hole. He actually looks half okay as a backup player. Not going to happen. They reckon Merlin out at left wing back, which, to be fair, is definitely something I could do because that means Morgala can be the backup centre back, which is great. But I think this would be a mistake with Yeremy Pino in the side to play Diamond. There you go. They want me to qualify for the Europa League by the end of the season. I need to be in the Europa League as a competition I need to win. Get the better of Sunderland. Qualify for the Champions League. Qualify for the Europa League. There you go. Fantastic choice. Players currently unhappy. Nuno Perez. What's Bruno unhappy with? Wants to leave the play in the Champions League. This is the only issue. Wants to leave the play in the Champions League. We'll keep him here. Don't know how we're going to keep him here, but we'll keep him here. Let's have a look at the team and how I would pick it. Straight away, I would go the 4-3-3. Which is this one here. And I would straight away go 2 complete wing backs on support because I've seen how well they bob on. And straight away, Osimhen up top. Straight away, my boy Nuno Perez is in there. Straight away, Salmakers is a right wing back. Straight away, I think Frimpong probably misses out and is the backup, but he's very good at what he does. Actually, I'm never benching Frimpong, am I? Salmakers is the one that misses out. It's a pretty good backup to have. That's the thing, though. You look at this team and you're just like, yeah, like Nick Pope misses out. Frimpong in there, and Frimpong goes into here. Like, Bruno, for me, doesn't make the team. Straight away, knowing what's around. Jude Bellingham, what is your best role? Ball-winning midfielder, they reckon. Nah, man. The definition of a box-to-box. To be fair, he's a definition of a centre mid on attack for me. Get up and down and get in the area and freaking do what you need to do, mate. You need to score goals. We need to get Bellingham scoring goals. I'm going to release him as a centre midfielder on attack. I'm going to let him go. Lacroix is probably the other centre-back because he's outrageous. And to be fair, I think Quinton Merlin is a very good wing-back on support. So probably put him on the other side. Which is straight away off the bat is what I would do here. So you got Quinton Merlin on the other side. Siva, they've got transfer listed, which I don't understand why. Because for me, Siva, who I've used on FM, is an outrageous ball-winning midfielder. You sit him in the hole and just go, mate, you win the ball back. He is incredible, so why would you do that with Siva? Yeremy Pino gets to play on his preferred side, which, look, to be fair, either side, I prefer him on the left, so he would go on the left. And he would be an inverted winger, for sure. I wouldn't play him as an inside forward, that would be a waste. Katko goes straight away in goal. Morgala's your backup centre-back, which is, like, ludicrous. You've got a guy with those physicals at backup centre-back. This is why we picked the team. Dan Juma is a backup winger on either side. There's nothing wrong with a 30-year-old Dan Juma as a backup. Gareth Cole would be the backup striker for the Lols. Leroy Sané could play on the other side. I'm going to pick him on the other side for now, but I think that's a position I would go after. Milinkovic doesn't make the team. which is ludicrous as well. But look at the back. Look at these two here. I'm outrageous. Isaac needs to make this side. He needs to play inside forward on some side. And he's more right-footed than anything. He's got a decent left foot, where we've got two good foots on either side. I would actually go Yumi Pino actually on the other side. And I'm going to go Isaac on this side. Dan Dreamer for Sane. Inside forward on attack. With Osimhen up top. Straight away you're looking good. With you Great playing as the backup defensive midfielder. With Bruno in the hole. With you Great in the backup spot. Leaves this Danilo guy who I don't think is particularly great and I would sell. He's not bad, but I would sell. Leaves this Stefan guy who I would sell. There's a couple of these guys that I don't care about. Leaves this guy here who I would sell. Leaves this guy who we've got a bid on who's a backup left back. But to be fair, don't particularly need him. He's not homegrown at Newcastle, is he? He's not. So we might let that go. And we got Charlie Webster, who, unless he's homegrown at Newcastle, which he's not, homegrown at Chelsea, then yeah. So I think I would let him go. And then D. Riggy is a West Ham boy by memory. All those guys would go. If you have a look at that team right there, look, to be fair, Gareth Cole out. I need an advanced playmaker on attack to start. But have a look at this team. You got Lacroix, you got Nuno Perez, you got Frimpong, you got Merlin, very good back four. Katker's in net. Look, I don't like sweeper keepers and support. I'm going to put him on defend. Right, you got Sivert and Bellingham with needing another player to create with Pino, Isaac, and Osimhen. I'm very happy. And then you got Dan Dreamer and Sane, the change of game. You got Bruno as a box-to-box midfielder. You got Ugrate as a defensive midfielder. You got two centre-backs and a right wing-back with Nick Pope. It's a pretty good side. With that being said, next episode YouTube is going to be us. That is correct. It's going to be us taking this role, taking this job, finding players and seeing who we can go after. We've got 105 mil to spend. We're going to spend it. See you guys next time. Thank you and goodbye.